Beloved, I bring you greetings today from the magnificent land of Ethiopia. As most of you know, there are few times that I am truly speechless. But there is no other word that more accurately describes what I have felt since arriving here in Ethiopia, our holy land. I have been deeply humbled and awed by the incredibly warm welcome that I and Mrs. Butts and the 160 and more Abyssinians have received in every city we have visited. Addis Ababa, the capital city, Gondar, Bahidar, Lalibela, Axum, and Mekele. I wanted to share with you today, as we are absent in the body but present in the spirit, the many wonders and experiences of Ethiopia. The Imperial Castle compound, the Gondar Medical School and Hospital, the Blue Nile Falls, the rock-hewn churches, St. Mary's Church, where the Ark of the Covenant is held, the Axum obelisks, and the Queen of Sheba's palace and tomb. As I tape this message to you, I stand at Mekele, the major battlefield where the Ethiopian army defeated the Italians to remain the only non-colonized nation on the continent of Africa. This represents only a fraction of the great history, culture, and tradition of the world's oldest Christian nation. What we have experienced thus far is the genius of Ethiopia, its creativity, its strength, its beauty, its people. And I should tell you, beloved, they are a faithful people, sometimes enduring a 3- and 4-hour walk so that they can attend church. Kind, welcoming, generous people, from the presidents of regions to the heads of states to the local villages we've met, have all embraced us as their brothers and sisters and have welcomed us home. While I'm anxious to return to all of you to continue sharing all of what we've seen here, we still have much to do over the course of the coming week. Dinner at the Presidential Palace with Ethiopian President Girma Wolde Georgis, meeting with the Prime Minister Meles Zenawi, meeting with the U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia Daniel Yamamoto, a roundtable forum with Addis Ababa University President Andreas Ashete, cultural exchange, and music workshops. So we are continually busy here, working to ensure that this is just the first of many trips, and cultivating relationships that will further connect Abyssinians in New York to Abyssinians in our homeland. We wanted you to see firsthand some of what we've seen here, so a select few photos that embody the beauty of the Ethiopian land and people and spirit are here for your observing. I want to thank Fox News Channel traveling with us, the Ethiopian Press Corps traveling with us, Associated Press and New York Times articles last week detailing trip and departure, and the Amsterdam News. And I want to thank regional television and newspapers covering stops in each city. And we will have a concluding press conference in which I will share much of what we've learned while here, what we hope we may be able to do moving forward. So forgive me for having to read this, but you understand there's just so much that we've experienced. It's so overwhelming. You know that I love you, and you know that I'm here as we celebrate our bicentennial and our theme, true to our God, true to our native land. God bless.
Because they were founded by free blacks in 1808. Now think about that. You remember your history. That's almost 60 years before the end of slavery in America.
Here in Harlem.
Here in Harlem. And they were founded by free Ethiopian sea merchants. But in 1808, Ethiopia was called Abyssinia. And it is the source of the Nile. They had accepted Judaism in the time of King Solomon, and then Christianity came to Ethiopia during the time of the Apostles. So they have this rich religious history. And so Abyssinia here, Abyssinian Church, Baptist Church, went back to Ethiopia as part of their pilgrimage, as part of their 200th anniversary to go back home. So take a look.
Ethiopia, the land of burnt faces. Don't you know why we gotta go back? Don't you know that this church was named for this nation? Don't you know why we gotta make this connection? We got a mission, I tell you. It's a pilgrimage. It's something that we ought to be involved in. It's our holy land.
We believe we have something to offer Ethiopia. They have identified their greatest enemy as poverty. We have been very successful in Harlem. It may be a different country, but the basic concept is the same. And help them to fight poverty. Help them to build their nation. But we believe this is a quid pro quo. We will get something from them.
Why are you going on this trip?
I'm going on this trip because I wanted to go back to the source of this church. The church means so much to me, and the fact that there were Ethiopian sailors who decided that they couldn't stand the treatment that they'd received and they were going to set up their own church.
This is a very special journey for me, and it's not just a question of going as a participant, but to be able to partake in something that is historical, that will leave a legacy, is very humbling to me.
One of the things that we have to learn in America, and that I'm trying to establish by this trip, is that we don't know it all. And I think as a result of our sharing back and forth, we will answer each other's problems.
Now, I hear that you've been working out with weights on your legs. So tell me about that.
Well, I'm an old person, so I don't want to be one of those people who will say, oh, you go ahead without me. I'm just going to sit here and wait while you do the tour.
You're going to be leading the bunch, you realize that.
Ethiopia has Christianity. Ethiopia has Judaism. Ethiopia has Islam. The Ethiopian people understand the power of God. There's no reason why men and women can't live together in peace. That's why we've got to go back.
Now, this is all before they went. Tomorrow we'll talk about when they're actually there. Ethiopia, the source of the Nile River.
Incredible.
You were incredible. I was with them. It's also one of the supposed places of the Ark of the Covenant.
Incredible.
Like in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we went to the church.
Oh, how cool.
They keep it well guarded for the people who believe that it's there.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, Lauren, great. Thanks so much. Coming up, recall toys bearing charities under a church in Harlem, taking a look at their heritage and journeying back to where it all began. Fox News religion correspondent Lauren Green, she joins us now. She's back this morning for the next chapter in their journey.
All right, yesterday we did a story about them anticipating going, the party to celebrate. Today is the story of them actually being there. And this is where they see the reality of Ethiopia. Yes, the poverty, but also the spiritual strength, and also because of that, a great deal of hope. So take a look.
We're the largest single individual group of people ever to visit Ethiopia. We were 160 strong. We had 5 physicians, 2 psychiatrists, an anesthesiologist. We had maybe 3 or 4 investment bankers, 4 or 5 lawyers. We met with the Minister of Health, the Minister of Education, the Chambers of Commerce. This is why they were glad to see us. Our trip consisted of visits to several cities in Ethiopia. Gondar, Bahadar, Lalibela, Aksum, Mekele. So it was 5. And one of the most powerful experiences was the experience of visiting the Blue Nile Falls. We had to take this incredible hike up the side of the mountain. And what a hike it was. I'm paying photographers now to bury those pictures of me with my tongue hanging out.
One of my initial impressions is like seeing the modernization of cars and buses, but juxtaposed next to families still living very traditionally. Blew my mind. They would not have 24-hour hot water or plumbing per se, but the look on their faces was just still full of hope. So it's poverty from our perspective, but not poor in spirit. They still treasure family. They still work together communally to plow the land and milk the land to provide everything that they need.
You really are invading them.
Well, they own the road as much as any automobile, and as you see, the road itself is unpaved.
Goodness, going into those churches and looking at the pictures, the frescoes, and seeing an 800-year-old Bible, and finding out how far back Christianity goes in Ethiopia was really a very, very enlightening experience.
Rock-hewn churches. The fact that people started from the top chiseling down to build these churches out of a solid piece of rock. And it's not just one, but several. And we have, until recently, neglected them in terms of the Christian faith. But more than just the Christian faith, they are really wonders of the world. I think that people understand that poverty is their enemy, but they're so proud. They're so giving. And I think this is a result of the spirituality. The Ethiopian immediately embraces that, true to our native land. We've come home, brother. We've come home, sister. And it means so much to them, but you can't imagine what it means to us.
That's great.
Beautiful. Well, that's the whole idea, is that they're bringing this economic force out. This is just the first leg of this whole development and relationship with them. So they're going to actually give them advice and give them hope and give them help.
Very cool. Tell us again where you stayed in Ethiopia.
This is another, so we stayed in the 5-star Sheraton in Addis Ababa. When we were in, actually, Addis Ababa, we actually stayed in lesser hotels outside.
So they got cool places to stay.
Real cool.
Wow. It's incredible.
There's so much development in Africa.
It's an incredible contrast between this development and then this sort of poverty or ancient way of living.
Lauren Green, thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Sure.
Looking forward to part 3.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is